Alright, so welcome everyone as we are here for the third round of Ultimate League in Season 20. And today we are here to race at the Fuji Speedway. It is a very well known track, as especially considering that it's a track that is not featured in the F1 calendar, even though it used to in the past, with a much different layout. And with the most current one, it was around I think 2007 and 2008. But either way, as you can see right here, let me just have a little look into the standings. Let me see if I can find the standings. It's pretty much Strategy leading the way, 12 points ahead of Nandi. And then it's Flix in third place with Fatmi in P4. And as you can see, it is Chargeti without any big surprise being in first place, as we then see Nandi in second. Then it's Corvid, followed by Goat, who's ahead of Fatmi. So Fatmi in a little bit of a danger zone, but he definitely needs to improve. And yeah, let's see now as the drivers are about to finish this second lap here. I think JT might be looking strong once again. And let's see, can he improve on that lap? He's going to be very close, and he doesn't. Nani improves, I think, a little bit, but not really enough, because Corvid and Kader will pass him. No boy, this could actually play into the hands of JT, as now it's the final lap here. I think there's going to be a lot of pressure now for Nani. I think he needs to be on that front row if he wants to have better chances of challenging the British drivers. He actually driving this lap pretty well. Ooh, maybe a little mistake here, but let's see now. It's the final turn. Ooh, maybe that was a mistake there, but let's see now. Will GT take pole position yet again? I think he's on a very huge row here, but yeah, it's gonna be JT once again here. The quarter view keeps second, Kader third, then it's Nadi there in P4. So as you can see, JT was on a very big streak, I believe. I don't know exactly how many pole positions that does he have, but it is definitely a lot. And as you can see, almost 2 tenths ahead of Corby, with 10 Kader starting in third ahead of both LSA's Nadi and Fatmi. Then we have Gold in P6 just ahead of Johnny Fu with P2Co. In P8 there is Nikhil and Oziera closing the top 10. And then we have Gamer for one time in P11 with Juroni and Matimar in P13. Then it's the two Lynx Racing drivers Albono and Kiato. Then Glow starting at the back. Well, I wonder what happened there. And yeah, let's see how will things go for today, as we see one time with one special livery. So yeah, let's see how will things go for this race. Strategy wise, I think it's going to be mostly for softs and mediums, I believe, because of that long straight. It really gained a lot of speed there. But as you can see, everyone is on the grid. And now we about to start. And we are racing in Fuji. We see JT with a good start, Corey with a little bit of a stall, as we see now Kader maybe trying to take second place. Could JT already get away? Maybe not, as we see Corey will stay behind Kader though. Will fall down a little bit now into P5, as we see a huge pileup right behind it. What happened there? I think it was Albon and Kia to the Lynx Racing with a disaster start there. As now Nani will take second place. Corey will try to go around the outside into the sweepers there, as Nani goes a little bit off the track there. But let's see, can Corey keep the slipstream or not? It's going to be very crucial here for today's race, and I think he can just keep it, as we see right now. But Corvid needs to leave a lot of space. This could be very, very dangerous there for Nani and Corvid, so they need to be aware of that. And if Corvid makes a little mistake, it's pretty much game over for the LSA. As we see Nani going off the track there. Now it's Fantmi now taking third, and now Corvid makes that little mistake maybe, but I think he's still on that slipstream. But yeah, this is the main issue now. Corby will be a bit of a nuisance for the LSAs. And we see both one times actually doing pretty well here with Ozier and Dogamer. You see Dogamer getting a little bit twitchy, but not really teleporting. Then we see Johnny Fu a little bit down here. And he's definitely going to be a crucial piece in the Constructors' Championship, because he needs to be up there. Because if City wins the race and Johnny Fu is in the top 5, I think they can actually gain point on the LSAs, even if they are second and third. So yeah, this could be actually a very good chance for SCP to win their first constructors, as obviously LSA has dominated the previous season. As we see now, Hernani once again will try to make an overtake on Corby. Looks a little bit twitchy there. But as you can see, he's definitely gaining. Maybe he's going side by side with GT on his screen. But that could be dangerous. He cannot really be doing that. And as we see, oh, some server lag. We're gonna have some server lag. Corby will go off the track. Should we restart or not? I'm not really sure. I think today we are sort of out of time as well because of the F1 race, so yeah, not really sure. Because we see Man Goat has left the race. Now we see, looks like he says break the pack here. You see, Corby was really massively affected by that. He was in second place, but now this has just released JT. So yeah, really unfortunate stuff going on. Then we see in front of me with Kader, and it's Ozzy with Corby. Then we see Johnny Fu with Bituka and Do Gamer here. As yeah, things have slowed down, but we have this little battle here, Glow. But they're really we didn't really have a good qualifying now. Start trying to just stay behind Albona. But at the front though, we see Nani getting very close to that safety and he can catch it. And this might actually be a lot of motivation for Hernani here. I think he might actually have a good chance of beating him today. But he needs to stay on that slipstream. I'm not sure if he actually lost it or not. And if he lost it, it's kind of weird how did he lose it in just a corner without doing a mistake. But now I think he's got it back. Luckily, and but yeah, that server lag though, definitely not great to have it in the starting laps of the race. But yeah, today it's we kinda need to get things going as we see now. Ooh, GT once again will try the undercut. Now as he goes for the hard tires, Fantme will do the same. And yeah, let's see how will things go. Will his undercut work or not? Obviously, when you go towards slower tire, things could change a little bit. But now as you can see, he's gonna have some traffic there with Nico, but he goes around the outside and he makes a nice move into P7. As we see there again, see certain lag. Now we see again. Ooh, though Gamer just going off the track now. GT gets another free position, which is very crucial. He might actually gain a little bit if he gets the toe of these drivers that he's passing. And as long as they don't cost him any time, he can actually gain something and make that undercut stronger. But as we see now, Hernani will be leaving the pits, obviously in second place. But does he have the safe stream or not? It's gonna be close, but not close enough, I think. So he has the mediums though, so I think he can actually catch him. But he needs to do it on these next few laps, otherwise it's gonna be in a very bad situation, of course. And but yeah, this will be interesting. If Nani is on the mediums, that means that his strategy should be different. Unless he tries to extend these tires. As long as he can keep that slipstream. But as we see, we got this battle with Johnny Fu now up to P5. He made a bit of an undercut, so now he's going to be a little bit compromised. As we see Kader and Ozzy now going side by side there. Kader has the inside into turn 1. And he's going to keep it, but now he's going to try and get past the Slovakian driver. As we see now, he gets the move done. And at the front again, just looking at this, and ooh, Nani, I think, was that a mistake? Not totally sure. I wonder if it's because of this part, that final section. I wonder if that's the reason why Nani can actually gain and catch GT as they need to get closer. Because of those tighter corners, as we see now, Hernani takes the inside and he takes the lead now. It's not exactly the most decisive overtake as we see. Oh, I think there was a crash here between Kader and Johnny Fu. Kader is saying sorry, so I might guess it was his fault, but yeah, it's gonna be a bit of a disaster there for Johnny Fu. As he has other tires, so catching the others who are just passing will not be an easy task. As yeah, back at the front though, it's gonna be Hernani leading the way, and yeah, there could maybe be a little possibility that Hernani would be slowing down JT in order to have Fantme getting back, but that would also mean that Corby would also be back, as we see right here, and it might not really be worth the risk, because obviously Corby can change things quite a lot, and but yeah, as we see here, not much happening now. Things have definitely settled down. A lot of drivers are on their own rhythm. And And yeah, things are mostly happening at the front. Let's see actually the lap times. We got Hanani with the 36.02 and Carter with the 36.23, so it wasn't really faster. Yeah, I guess those tires are starting to get a little bit older as you get another silver lag. Oh my god, I hate this. I really hate this. But yeah, as we see right now, it is Carter that in third place. With Fatmi just right behind, and let's see again. Ooh, what happened? I think the silver lag may screwed up GT this time. Well, yes, we see he lost now almost half a second. In the meantime, I think, yeah, Corey did gain 500s to Hernandi, but it's not really a big difference. And I would say probably you would have to gain more on those soft tires. But as we see, we got Johnny Fu now trying to recover again. Obviously that big accident was really not great for him, but now he's just behind Bituco. As we see the Ricard Alto there. And yeah, Will Fatmi want to stay behind Party, but obviously we did saw him actually letting him pass. But then always, as we see, Hernani's actually gained some time. And yeah, actually for some context, JT I believe is on 5 wins in a row. And he could make it 6 wins in a row today, but obviously Hernani now is leading the way. But obviously things can change actually on this stint still. Because now I think Hernani should start to get older and older tires. He's going to be losing on that tire life, even though he pitted a lap later. Now as we see, Corby will be pitting. And I wonder if this is something that Hernani could be concerned about. And the reason why I say this is because Corby could be making another cut, obviously maybe without really the intention of doing that, because he was just simply on the soft tires. But yeah, that could be interesting. Although he's going to be now down in P8, going to have quite some traffic here. And yeah, speaking of traffic, I think the drivers that we're gonna have to look at are the ones who are currently on the hard tires. So that's going to be Ozzy and Phantomy. And yeah, that will probably not concern Hernandi all that much as his teammate. And they are both on the voice chat together, so they can actually communicate with each other much easier. As we see now Johnny Fu. Looking a little bit twitchy. I need to really see if it's too bad or not. But yeah, then we see Corby now about to catch these drivers, and as you can see, Keller is also hyping her now. He's gonna be in a very bad situation here as he's gonna try and get past him, and now he gets past the Colombian. Now he's on the slipstream of Johnny Fu, who I think will just dive into the pit, so now he's gonna be in clean air. And yeah, back at the front though, I think JT is getting closer to Hernandi. And I think he might be catching his slipstream actually. So yeah, that's interesting. As we see now, GT will maybe try to make an overtake here as we finally having some actual battling. As we see, Hernandi will still lead the way. And is he going to go into the pits? I think he might. But now GT will actually dive at the inside. Oh boy, looks like Fatmi will do the same. So once again, GT will go for the undercut. And I wonder, will Hernandi do the same that he did in the previous team, which is pitting for the hards? I mean for the mediums. As we see, GT went for the hard tires, and crucially he's actually ahead of Corby, so I guess he's not really a threat in this race any longer. But yeah, Fatmi is gonna have to fight for this third place stage for sure. As the previous race was actually a very busy one for him. And we see some battling here between Ozzy and Giruni. But these two drivers are not really on the same race. Giruni is still yet to pit for the second time. Now we see Hernandi then again leaving the pits, and as you can see, it's a very big gap. It's actually a lot bigger than the previous one. And yeah, I think I believe Hernandi wanted to pit there, because we saw him sort of squeezing GT into the inside, coming into the pit entry. And I think that's for GT to try to avoid an accident. He went to the pits while Hernandi, in order to avoid crashing GT into the wall, he decided to stay out, I believe. I think that was exactly what happened. So yeah, now it's very tricky for Nutty. He's gonna have to catch JT again. And then maybe hopefully pit at the same time as him. Because yeah, now they have both already uh, essentially clear of the tire rule now, as they already picked two different tire compounds. And yeah, then we see here P2 can gather. This is a more proper fight. And it's always so weird, even though these cars are not really the exact same color, they always look so similar. But as we have a closer look here, we got Pituco. It's a Ricard Auto, it looks more like a 2015 Lotus. But then Kader, I think, looks more like a FE McLaren livery, as we see right here. But yeah, I think that's orange is very dark there, as we see. I think Kader got pushed there. And we have Johnny Fu really close to them, but yeah, let's just zoom out a little bit here. We see Johnny Fu going up the inside, but yeah, just not possible to overtake there. And then we have a look at the bike, we got Juruni, then battling with Toe Gamer, while at the front, and that is definitely getting closer to JT. Obviously the tires also help, but I think Nutty, this has probably been his best race so far in this season. Maybe the previous race may give him some motivation, because I think he was expecting to have a much worse race and be absolutely destroyed by GT, but he managed to stay within 2 seconds at least, I believe. I mean, until he obviously went into the pits an extra time in order to try and get the fastest lap. But I think Nutty may have made a mistake, and yeah, he lost some time this time around. But still, the tire life is very similar, so Nutty should still have the advantage on the tires. And again, now Glow will be leaving, and yeah, it's gonna be a nightmare season for FGR, that is for sure. As we see then Glow DNFing again. And yeah, so we got 3 retirements today. Menbergold was the first one after that massive server lag, and then Kyato was the second one. I don't know exactly why, and then Glow was the third one. Not sure. Glow's retirement could be controller related, but I'm not totally sure. Because we didn't have a look back at the front, I think JT may have gained some pace here. Because now he's sort of matching Nutty's lap times on the hard tires, which is a slower compound of course. So now things could be changing, as in the meantime we saw Fatmi making a move on Corvid, as now the Australian starting to lose in terms of strategy, I'd say. Because now he's pretty much forced to just make undercuts, and probably he's gonna have to do an extra pit stop, I would guess. But then back at the front once again, let's just compare the lap times, and yeah, now he's losing time. So yeah, GT could be on his way to keep on having his best start to a season, which is getting a race win in the first 3 races. And yeah, then we see Fatmi then in 3rd place, and then it's Ozzy now happy to P4, but he has one less pit stop. Then Clarido now just lags a little bit, but it's not too much. And yeah, then we see Juroni with Toe Gamer. This is a much more proper fight, they're actually in the same sort of race. And then we see Bitoku was pitted for the 3rd time. They've lost a few positions now. But we see Udaldor Gamer going up the inside there on the grass on that chicane. It's a very tricky place to go side by side, that is for sure. As we see now Bituko now looking for an easy move on Juroni. He's not gonna fight it hard. And yet this will obviously help him quite a lot actually. Low Gamer will lose with this. That is for sure, because now Juroni is kinda just taking the bus here and try to get away, but he might potentially just fall off of the slipstream because of the tire difference, that is for sure. Will that really be the case? I think it is. Then at the front looks like he just keeps on gaining time, and he's just gaining more and more. I think he's starting to lock in. And he's charging his way to a 3rd race win in this season, which will be I think 6th win in a row, so he would be the 2nd driver to do it. After Figo did it back in season 18 in Melbourne. Not Melbourne, Phillip Island. Which is another track in Australia, of course. Then we got Carlid here in P5, he's behind Aussie. Now in this battle for P4. Obviously, they have absolutely different tires, but I could see both of them actually only having to pit one more time. And I think this really means that Carvey really went for the best strategies. Now he goes for the move on the Polish driver. He takes it easy as we have another server lag. And oh my lord. But yeah, these server lags obviously are not great. And at the front, I think. Ooh, and then he goes into the pits. Oh boy, this will be very, very decisive. Because now, if Nanny cannot get GT Slipstream, this race should be over. And if GT was already having better lap times on worse tires, so imagine what he can do now on better tires. So yeah, Nanny is gonna be hella reliable on that slipstream right now, and this lap he needs to get it perfect. Because I'm not sure if the gap that he had would be enough to actually make a strong undercut, but let's see now. JT will be now coming out of the pits. As we see him now into the pit lane, now on the pit exit. Where is Anandi? Is he gonna be close enough? I think might just not be there. So yeah, I think it's done. Obviously the race is not exactly over, but now GT needs to focus on not making any mistakes. Same with Anandi, who needs to give him the pressure. As yeah, it's things are not looking good for Nani, which is a bit of a shame actually. I think he was doing really well in today's race. But yeah, as you can see, the grid is so spread out. It's actually incredible here. And I think it's just these cars really just causing that. As we see right now, Ozzy looking for a move on Bituko here. And I see Bituko trying to go defensive there, but not really much that he can do. Although he's actually still ahead, but yeah, those tires are much older. We just saw him making a really big undercut, but he's gonna have to pit again, while the others have definitely going to the end. Maybe not Kader, but yeah, Johnny Fu definitely going into the end. Ozzy though had a really good strategy today, there is for sure. Could actually finish in P6 or P5, which I would consider to be the best of the rest. Unless we would count Corvi to be on that group as well. But in the meantime, Nandi did gain some time on JT on the previous lap, which may give him some hope, actually. Although I'm not sure if that was the outlap for JT there, but if that was, it would actually be concerning, to be honest. Because obviously your outlap is usually a very slow lap. But as you can see now, I think he definitely gained time this time around, and yeah, I think it's going to be hard for Nandi to gain and to win this race. Meantime, Corvid, his podium chances definitely fading away here as they have me looking to pass him, and he's not gonna have to pit again. Corvid will have to pit one more time, and that should put him in P4, I believe. Kader also will fall down a little bit. I would guess that his battle is more with Bituko. And yeah, then it's the gamer looking to finish ahead of Shuruni here. But they just have slightly older tires, so that is actually interesting. Juni had a bit of slipstream from Bituko, who was on the soft tires. And I don't know what happened there. Looks like there was maybe some crashing here between Fatmi and Corvez. We see you, Fatmi, going off the track. I don't think the stress will be all that much, because I'm pretty sure he's going to be finishing in third place regardless. So it's not like this battle really will matter or have a huge impact here. So as we see right here, Fatmi going side by side, and that's a nice move there around the outside. Corvez might still see himself ahead though, but now I'm pretty sure Fatmi must have get him this time. As now we see Corvez then pitting for the final time, looking yet again for another solid result in the top 5 today. As now let's see, he's gonna be right behind Ozzy, so he's gonna have to fight for that P4, at least at the beginning here. Although of course the tire difference, it does play in favor of Corvid. And again, looking at the front, I think the gap has sort of stabilized. Or maybe GT is still gaining, but maybe not as much as before. As you can see, yeah, that was a very close one. Just 500 of a difference. And yeah, I think Zanani really had a really good shot today. But yes, Adi just couldn't execute the race all that well, and that undercut from JT was really decisive, of course. And yeah, in the meantime, we have Bituko and Kader. Now going side by side there, Bituko goes off the track. Kader will now take P7. He's also on better tires. But yeah, that was a very weird overtake. But yeah, as we see then, we got Aussie on the hard tires, and yeah, that's it. Because yeah, I think everyone is just in no man's land. This race is actually not really been the best of races, I'll be honest. Although this is still better than watching the Suzuka race in real life F1, that is for sure. But here it's very clear that the skill gap has got a little bit big, and I think part of it is the cars, maybe. And also the amount of good drivers and fast drivers that have left the grid in recent times. So yeah, all of that really doesn't help, as we see a huge difference there on the gap between Hernani and JT. Fenma, I think he's been practicing less, if I'm not wrong. Because otherwise I think he could be much closer up there. And yeah, the same also does apply to Corvid. But yeah, we see all the drivers sort of starting to catch up, but as we see, a lot of the drivers are very spread out. Like some of them being like 5, 6, 7 seconds. And that's just a very big gap. And I'm pretty sure things used to be a lot closer in the past. But yeah, I really don't know what to say anymore, because there's really not much happening now. And yeah, I'm kind of just underselling this league a little bit, not gonna lie. But yeah, as you see, we're running with a massive mistake. I think this will go to JT today. I think now should be more confirmed. Because yeah, now the gap has got into 2 seconds. And actually, now that I look, as you can see, the fastest lap is actually from Doug Gamer right now with the 35 flat, and that should probably stay that way. Unless someone will try to steal it on purpose, but I don't think that will really be the case. So yeah, as you see then, JT approaching the final lap of the race. Then we have, I think, Pituco and Kader also. Those are the 2 closest drivers on the track right now. And yeah, maybe Pituco could get the Colombian in the end, but we will have to see. Because now GT is already on the final lap of the race then. As he definitely had a fight with Gnadi once again. But I think it will come his way, as he's usually very calm and relaxed. Qualifying, he just gives no chance to anyone. And then in the race, he just completes the job here. So once again, JT will now do these final few corners as he goes into the main straight now. And JT will cross the line to take his 6th win in a row. He's on his biggest win streak yet, and he's still on his best start to the season yet as well, with his first start in a row. Then we see a 3rd win in a row, Then we see JT then winning, and Nandi will take 2nd place. Then we got Fatmi completing the podium, followed by Clarvid. And then Ozzy with an amazing race in P5, followed by Johnny Fu in P6, followed by Kader, and then it's Pituco who couldn't catch the Colombian. And then we see Gironi getting very close to the gamer. Oh, this will be a close one. It's a drag race into the finish line. Who's gonna take Gironi on the gamer? And I think it's the gamer. That was very close, I think, on my screen. I think I saw the gamer just a little bit ahead, but I think the finish time gave a bigger gap in favor of the gamer. But yeah, then we see it's Albono, followed by Niku, who actually had a much better qualifying position. But yeah, he's still learning, of course. And yeah, I think that's it, as we see then. So looking back at the results again, we got JT then with the race win, then it's Nadi 2nd, Fatmi completes the podium, then we got Corvid in P4, followed by Osiera in the top 5 today. Then it's Johnny Fu in P6 here with Kader, followed by Bituko, then it's Togamer with the fastest lap with the 35 flat. And then Gironi completing the top 10, as they were very, very close there here. And yeah, then we have Mati with Albono in P12, followed by Nikil. Then it's the drivers who retired today, Glow, Kiato, and Menberg out. So yeah, we're gonna go for the interviews, but this is gonna have to be quick because we have the F1 race very soon, and I'm pretty sure people will want to watch that one. So maybe I'm gonna go with Fatme first, because yeah,
Hello.
third place and a bit of a battle with Corvid, and but in the end you did took it. The strategy did also help, and so yeah, what can you say?
That was such a snooze fest, man. Most boring race I've done in probably all time. Basically, just surprisingly good quality P5. You know my style. That's pretty good. Then yeah, just couldn't get past COVID in the first stint, and after that server lag up, I died, and yeah, basically from there the top two was gone, and it was a battle with COVID for the podium. And yeah, I got the good strategy. But yeah, I wasn't focused always. I think I run off in the main straight, like in the top grass, like maybe twice. Just not looking at the screen going off. So yeah, just not focused this whole race, and definitely P3 because of the strategy, but still disappointed because I was indeed aiming for the win this one.
All right, then we go with P4 Corvid. As, yeah, I'm guessing you might have similar feelings to Fatmi, as this was probably a very sort of boring race, but there were some several lags that kind of may have waken up a few of the drivers. But yeah, what can you say?
This was a lot like last week, actually. I just accidentally did a bit too well in qualifying, and then some weird thing happens in the opening stint. This time, I just had a I don't know what happened. It was like a massive like stutter uh in the first stint, and I went from tailing Joe in the front pack to falling to like P6 and just losing out on any chance to keep. And then I just ran an alternate strategy compared to Phantom, and I just wasn't fast enough to catch him at the end. Not too much to say then.
Yeah, well, it was still I think 3 seconds behind it now that I see that. But yeah, so I think we can go then with Tsunade. I think this may have been your best chance of winning the race, that is for sure, because you did look to gain some time on him a few times, but then towards the end things seemed to turn around. So yeah, what can you say?
I mean, yeah, first time he undercut me on lap 6, he took hards, I took mediums, I was able to get him back. And then he pitted one lap before me again onto the hards. And I thought I could take it back again on the mediums. I was like 6 tenths away, maybe one more good lap, but just some really small mistakes. And then, yeah, I had to do 11 on the mediums twice. I really should have pitted on lap 17 with Joe. If I do that, I can like kind of follow him, but I had faith in myself catching him, and it didn't work today. After that, I pitted one lap earlier to the hard, so by the end it started fading a bit more than his. Finishing 2 seconds behind him is completely realistic on pace. I think this is the closest I've been.
All right then, and actually I'd like to ask both you and JT, because there was a bit of an incident there, or at least an almost incident, because I saw you sort of turning into JT, and then I feel like you sort of realized that that could have happened, like that you could have pushed him into a wall, and then you stayed out, and then JT, like you kind of just went into the pits out of nowhere, and I wonder what happened there.
Oh yeah,
Uh, which one was that?
it was when I was going to the pits, but you pushed me, so I was going to the pits, and you were by the wall. So if I was to stay out, it could have been a problem, but I was pissing anyway. So
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
so not
yeah.
no big drama,
if it
but
if it if I was staying out, I would have just gone behind. So it wasn't that big of
I
a
mean,
problem.
or you just tell me.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
also that, but I was locking in there. I wasn't saying much.
Yeah, you shut up. Yeah.
all
Nerd.
right. All right, then. So, just the last question. Of course, you got your best win streak so far. Of course, tied now with Figo on the record. Because obviously you have the chance to now beat his record, of course. Get the seventh win in a row, I think, in Assumption on the rain
Yeah,
track. So yeah, what are your feelings on that? Do you have a good feeling about the rain for the next week or?
Well, I'm confident with my pace. I mean, at the moment I'm pretty good form, so it could happen. But like you say, with the vein, it's all a bit up in the air. But I mean, I'll practice as much as I have for these ones and get a similar level of pace and hope the vein luck keeps with me since the last vein choice I made where it got me the win. But quali is also, I think I still care a bit more about the quali 10 out of 10 quality record than the wins. So I'm mainly focusing on that. And also that's under my control in a wet race. So yeah, quali's the main thing.
Alright then, so I think that's it for today as F1 is in 5 minutes, so yeah, that's it. I hope you guys like today's races. Next week we are going to Paraguay. I think that's the Paraguay flag, and yeah, it's gonna be a rain race. JT will try to get or beat the record for the biggest win streak, while Nani will try to stop him as it's gonna be actually he is on track. So that's it. We see you the next week, and goodbye.